Wow. Man, this is so annoying. Sometimes never lucky. Yeah, it's before I started, I put up the Formula 3 results, and I realized someone not being in P6, and here we have him, P13, and here we have the information. So didn't beginners have another fun sprint race? Could have ended with points, and it ended with no points. So already there is fun for name. And I would say yes, Stanhorn, I think he led almost the whole race. Maybe not all the race. There was maybe some fighting in the beginning, but in the end he was leading, and Lindblad was almost passing him. And yeah, what more happened in Formula 3? Something must have happened. Or was it just no? Or was it just Formula 2? I think that. Oh yeah, I know some people crashed because I. No, that was maybe Formula 2 also. Oh my god. The memory of Formula 2 is not good. I mean, the only good thing, Sofia Flörers, P19. So yeah, I mean, I was seeing Beganovi's P13 makes this not fun to even care about. So let's go for the. Let's see, is this the? Do I have the right? Okay, so there was same note. One. Oh yeah, Formula 2 I remember more of, and this was not any fun. Let's see, where do we have it? Bortoletto. He is outside the information. But man, he did a best start again, and then 16 lap. Is this still right, man? I still don't understand how they they must be right. But why is? Oh, is this how many laps they've done on the tires or what? Man, so weird. Yeah, here. Okay, lap 19. Okay, here we have the right Oh, that's something fun. Mayata P5. And Oliver Bamman seems like they didn't have fun. Oh yeah, that's happened. That's why Dennis Hager is so high up. Because it was so many crashes. Antonelli, I think Aaron was in near that crash. And someone more. So Antonelli and someone more crashed out, and Aaron got some damage from that. That made Dennis Hager gaining, I mean, at least 3 positions. But yeah, let's see if I can get, because the big... Oh shit. No. See, because I...
Gillette Labs, nya.
Quiet. Because this race start was so depressing. Let's see if I can... And it's Emma in the start. Let's see if I can... and then we do that. And then it's... Let's see if we can... Oh shit, this is Formula 3. Okay. I can see if something happened in Formula 3. Yeah, it was some crash, but there were people down. Yeah, I mean, nothing that changed the point scoring, I would say. But, man, I wanted the Formula 2. Formula 3 highlights. Wait, did they publish the Formula 2 highlights before the Formula 3 highlights? Man, weird. Okay, here we have it. Best start from Bortoletto. Oh shit. And there you have it. What's his name? From Spain. He get a really good start, but it got squeezed between Bortoletto and him, and then they both crash out. I mean, so depressing. Because I want Bortoletto to have a good year. Then we can see if we can find... And Antonelli, and I mean, man, the future for Mercedes is really good. If this is the future. Here we have it. He just slides off, and then for some reason the other person also slides off. And there we have Aaron. They just... So because of that, let's see if it's... if Dennis Hager is... Yeah, I think... Oh shit. In some other place you can see where is him. There we have him. So there we have Dennis Hager. So here Just three cars just get destroyed. Okay, did something more happen? Yeah, I don't think so. But either way, they made... wait, Stanek? Where's Hadjar? Yeah. So he lost it. What the fuck? What did happen to him? Yeah, here, it's like Hadjar loses the race. Win. Why? Man, so many penalties. Okay. So he got punished because of the start. No way. So unlucky. You ruin your teammates' race and then you ruin also your own race after a super easy win. That's why I thought the result was so fucking weird, because I don't remember Stanek winning or something. Okay. Did something more happen that I can... No, I think I said everything. But, I mean, it's sprint race, who cares? I mean, they talked so much about, oh, look, the first race win, he's the first, his first race he won, wow, so hype. When you just qualify 10, then you start P1, and then you more easily can win. Yeah, man, that must be really good job. Okay, but we can go the practice. Ferrari and Red Bull looked good. I mean, Copium, Mercedes trying to look good. Aston Martin, I mean, they look good. And Visa Cash App RB Formula 1 team look also good, and Williams almost good. And then qualifying. The first they get out was Nico Hülkenberg, Pegassi, Daniel Ricciardo, Jürgen Yu. And Daniel Ricciardo could have succeeded with a better results, but he overdrove the car and got his time got deleted. Så det med att Kevin Magnusson succeeded to get to Q2. And Valtteri Bottas, Alexander Albon och Esteban Ocon, they didn't get further, but now we come to the most amazing thing. Lewis Hamilton, he almost got out qualified by Oliver Bammer in Saudi Arabia, and now he made a so good time, so Yuki Tsunoda and Lance Stroll could be faster and out qualify him. So he got pushed out. And then we have Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda, George Russell, Oscar Piastri, Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Sergio Perez, and Carlos Sainz. And like always, Max Verstappen P1. And yeah, I'm really hoping Alex Albon can succeed with points. I hope George Russell and Lewis Hamilton crash in together. And yeah, so make sure so Yuki Tsunoda and Alex Albon can get points, and maybe Daniel Ricciardo can have a really good race so that he can maybe get also some points, but probably not. But now we have for the reaction of the qualifying from P1, and I will just start up the game. So we can go yeah. The thing I will do in Minecraft is removing the last part of this stone water thing. So let's start the reaction.
What happened in qualifying for the Australian Grand?
What happened? I mean, Lewis Hamilton is so washed. That's happened.
Before we dive into everything, I just want to shout out the P1 live show, Cambridge, Bath and London. It is only a few weeks away, the 11th, the 12th and the 14th of April. If you want to come and see me and Tommy talk about become friends with Tommy, who knows? I'm still working on it. P1 live show. Extending track limits. Big talking point is Daniel Ricciardo. Extending track limits and going out in
so
Q1.
Unlucky.
Question from P1 Patreon member Ali. Will Ricciardo be out mid-season if he doesn't pick up the pace? Now, this is an interesting...
Maybe, yes. But I don't think he will be that bad.
question, really, because I think a lot of other drivers, if we're envisioning a bad season for them, you go, yeah, seat under threat. And I don't think Daniel Ricciardo is immune to that. However, I think we're both on the same kind of wavelength here, Tommy. Danny Rick is a bit of a... Despite literally turning his back on Red Bull a few years ago, kind of still the golden boy in some regard. And in my head, I just can't see it happening unless he has bin after bin after Q1 exit after Q1 exit, half a second off Sonoda, looking like he was at McLaren perhaps against Lando Norris.
Yeah, done.
I don't think they would make that savage swap personally.
Yeah, I think...
Påskrean är igång, nu med massvis med extra priser.
Go away,
Välkommen till...
No, time.
I think just because of his personality, I don't agree with it, but I think his personality and the fact that he's so loved in the team, and Christian Horner, and for example, I feel like
Christian Horner will, he will leave, so Ricciardo will have no support.
Did everything to get him back in that car. You can see that from Drive to Survive. It has to go really bad.
What a really bad. Christian Horner is out. Red Bull is washed. Red Bull is it's doomsday. You have nothing. He will not keep his seat.
And it is going that way. We've not even had the third race yet, but it's not looking good for Daniel Ricciardo at all. But I think he's very fortunate. The things that he's had before him is probably going to save him from a mid-season swap. But if he carries on like this, he's not going to be there next year, that's for sure.
Other drivers to speak about was, of course, Hülkenberg, that was impeded by Sergio Perez in Q1. Now, as of recording, we don't know if there's been any penalty that's handed out. Whether that will happen, who knows? But I'm definitely on the phone to the steward saying yes, because Charles Leclerc will then gain a position. I'm joking. I haven't actually seen the incident. I didn't see a replay. Was there a replay even shown of the impeding?
Not on Sky Sports, no.
Yeah, so we'll see on that one. But obviously Perez had a great qualifying, up in P3 and exactly where he needs to be in that Red Bull. So we'll see if he gets a penalty for that one. But of course Hülkenberg was knocked out, which is usually when you think, okay, they are going to take this seriously. because sometimes you see it where a driver will impede someone else in Q1, but they both make it through, and then it's sort of just like brushed to one side. But with Hulkenberg not making it through, perhaps there'll be a different outcome. And then, of course, Gasly in the Alpine washed, as always. And then Zhou, that had picked up some damage, I think, on turn 10, but still 19th. Not good.
Yeah, not good for Zhou Guanyu. He was unfortunate by the look of it with his front wing, but yeah, it's not the best start of the season for them. It is, other than Yuki Tsunoda, the gap does seem like massive between those teams, doesn't it?
Let's go to Q2 then. We're out. It was Hamilton, Albon, Bottas, Magnussen and Ocon. And of course, in that list, the biggest talking point, Lewis Hamilton being knocked out.
Yeah, Lewis
And
is so
again,
washed.
we're back on the same conversation where we're going, Hamilton out qualified by Russell. There's going to be lots of chat. Is Hamilton finished? Is George Russell destroying him? But it was, I think, 0.05 of a second between George Russell and Lewis Hamilton.
And who cares? He was out qualifying. Why you?
Nothing.
Yes.
Absolutely nothing between them.
Well, he's P11. Why is that?
But of course, Hamilton getting knocked out, and then George Russell doing a great job in Q3 to thrust that Mercedes into P7. It's very clear that it's an inconsistent car, because at one point you think, oh, they're back, and then they're not, and then they are, and then they're not again.
They'll
and
never be
baiting their
back.
fans. That's the most savage thing, is that they're baiting their own fans with this inconsistent car.
The problem is not understanding the car, because how are you going to make progress? And like I said yesterday, Mercedes just seemed to be like, oh, we're changing this. Oh, no, we need to revert back to this. Oh, we need to do this. We need to do that. And there's no clear direction of what they
Isn't it beautiful?
should be doing. And that is the most concerning thing. So,
Why is
at
that
the moment,
concerning? It's
it's looking
beautiful.
like Hamilton's made quite a good decision to get out of there, because you've got to think that
And this car, this team, Max Verstappen will join. Why?
well, I'll be amazed if they're
Because
anywhere.
Christian Hornet make the team so unclear, unsafe, and hard to working. No, the Mercedes look more
Until 2026, personally.
bad. To
Question
be.
from Breezy Ain't Easy. If Albon finishes outside the points or DNFs, was it worth blowing up the confidence of their second driver?
It
What I
was.
will say is yes, it was a savage decision
No,
to
it wasn't.
pick the driver that had just binned it in practice to have your other driver's car to drive for the rest of the weekend.
That's not savage.
There is no good decision here. Both have drawbacks.
That is good.
But what
decision.
I will say is that if Logan can't recover from this, he's not cut out for Formula One. Come back in 2 weeks and show the team why you are worth that seat. Because a lot of people, us included, questioned if he even deserved a seat this season. He's got it. He's got another 20 races. In 5 races' time, we'll forget this if he has even happened. And when he's been knocked out in Q1 or whatever, everyone will be back on the slander train.
I know it's brutal, but this is the top level of motorsport.
It's not
It is
brutal.
the elite, and you have to pick yourself up from it and deliver. And if he does that, it could show to Williams that we've made the right choice in keeping him on board, and he can still deliver. But if he falls...
I would say that's the most savage. Williams team keep him. That I would say is the biggest savage thing. They have to have him in the car and losing points. That's the greatest savage thing ever.
Goes off a cliff even more. It's quite clear that it's not working.
Okay, next question. P1 Patreon member AMG Piper. What is going on with Hamilton? It's obvious Mercedes aren't pulling up trees this season, but George is getting to Q3, so why isn't Hamilton? I think we've kind of covered this. It is very marginal. He's been on
Okay, but he still didn't get to Q3. He get out qualified by Yuki Tsunoda and Stroll. Come on.
the wrong end of the stick each time so far this season. I think George
Did he ever do that in 2022? Come on.
is doing a good job. It's clear that Hamilton is not confident in the car, and that is the swing of a tenth or two and the difference between these two drivers. And I think it's clear that we've seen that George, in qualifying, Mr. Saturday, all this good stuff, he is very good at qualifying. And when the car's not there and Mercedes are in this mid-pack, they're going to have these moments that Hamilton gets knocked out in Q2. I am very sure and very confident that this is not going to be a trend throughout the entire season and that Hamilton will
copium.
bounce back.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Hamilton's had a great start to the season, because he hasn't. But it is so early to basically be like, Hamilton's finished when he's...
Is it
like
really
say,
that early?
500ths off extremely highly
Yeah. And then he's also bad in race.
rated young driver in the third race of the season. That makes it look a lot worse than it is. I think once we've seen some more normal races play out and we've had
And if still bad, what do you say then? We have not have a super normal race.
3 or 4 more races, then if it keeps happening every week, or if Hamilton can't deliver in the races, I think that's when I'd be worried about Hamilton, because he's so good in the Grand Prix. Like that's where he comes into his own.
He's so good. So why the fuck did he do that bad? Because he's so good. What? Why didn't he out-qualify in your Russell? Because he's so good. Okay. They're so close, but he's so good. What do you mean? You mean Lance Stroll is better than Lewis Hamilton? The fuck are you talking about?
And he's better. So if he doesn't deliver, then that's when I'd worry. Qualifying, not so much.
Q3 then.
But he haven't done a good race. No, just look at the Saudi Arabia. Was that good? He was fighting with Lando Norris for just some points against Oliver Behrman. Is that where Mercedes should be? Fighting Oliver Behrman that just hopped in a Formula 1 car? I don't think so. I think it's a lot of cooking.
First question is from Papaya Shauna. How's Matt dealing with Leclerc bailing? Great. I was delusional up until the point that I wasn't. When I don't think I saw a purple sector for Charles Leclerc almost the entirety of qualifying. He said himself afterwards that he just couldn't get the feeling with the car, and he felt like there was something wrong from FP3, and it just didn't quite click, and that's fine. I think that definitely third place was on the cards for Charles had he finished that lap, but he made a mistake, and I'm not gonna defend him. He made an error, clearly not embedded in qualifying, and didn't do a good enough job today.
Yeah, it's not been the greatest kind of qualifying day for Charles, when normally he's
still better than fucking Lewis Hamilton.
doing well. But like I said in the watch along, he clearly thought about your prediction and how you want him to get more wins and poles, and he was on a pretty decent lap and thought, nah, I'm coming into the pits. Yeah, get in the pits. Yep. Keep Matt's
pole was
prediction
never
alive.
on, unfortunately, but I appreciate Leclerc making sure that doesn't happen and that he'll just get a wild win at some point. But touching on Carlos Sainz, did a fantastic job today. Cannot take anything away from him.
Fantastic job.
He looked like he was maybe even going to potentially fight for pole.
No,
Max
I don't think so.
To do Max Verstappen things and set a 15.9. But yeah, Carlos did everything I think that he possibly could have today, and to bounce back from surgery, the pain that I'm sure he was probably in. Like, you could see afterwards he was looking a little bit tentative. So to perform at that level is incredible, and I'm really regretting not putting him as my biggest good surprise, which is what I was going to do. But there's no points in what I was going to do. It's who I did lock in, which is Esteban Ocon. But he made it into Q2, so that's an instant point. Limos9 comes in with a question: are Ferrari having second thoughts about their 2025 driver choice? No.
Carlos Sainz isn't that good.
No, they're not. Did you not see the stock price of Ferrari when Lewis Hamilton signed? I know there was also, just generally their forecast financial figures or whatever being up, but also, I think they're good. This is Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc being in the same team from next year is the most tantalising prospect for both spectator and also for Ferrari as a whole. No, they are not regretting it. That's why they...
That I would probably say. I don't think any championship will maybe be won by Leclerc or Lewis Hamilton. But they could maybe win the construction. And that will be something.
signed him.
So something
They know that
Ferrari
Carlos
can
is a
have
great
it,
driver. It's not like Carlos has turned up in qualifying today and we've gone, hold on, I didn't realise you had that in you, Carlos. Carlos has shown that he's got some fantastic pace in his genes. I don't know why I've said that. So, no, they're not having second thoughts. They know exactly what they're doing with Hamilton. Hamilton has not forgotten how to drive, and I'm sure from next year...
But you remember forgotten how to get podiums and pole position and race wins.
He is going to be sensational, and it's as simple as that.
I think so
Not
far,
if
based on
Ferrari.
this season, Mercedes and Red Bull should be absolutely fighting over Carlos, because it's absolutely criminal that
What a fight! Why? They have done a Ricciardo.
that he doesn't have a drive yet. He is far too good of a driver not to have a seat, and it
Really? Why you say that?
shouldn't even just be a seat. It should be a top seat. Like he's doing that well. He's shown that he can perform at the top. He's shown he can win. He should.
And why? I would have shown that he can win. I mean, the first race win, I would say that was really sus against Leclerc. I mean, they ruined his race when they didn't have to. He was faster in a broken car against Carlos Sainz. That says a lot. And then Singapore, I mean, the only reason why he won that race was mostly because Leclerc said, yeah, only time we maybe could win, and I will help you to get it. So almost one more race when Leclerc got the team had to say, we need to ruin your race to make Carlos Sainz win. So two races where that happened. So I want to say that shows that he can win races.
Be there.
Question, Lumixion. Has Yuki just massively boosted his chances for the Red Bull seat with his Q3
No.
performance? Right, let's relax, everybody. One performance, again, we know that Yuki Tsunoda's got a great performance in him. Just because he sticks it in Q3 once does not mean Red Bull are now, Helmut Marko sprinting down the pit lane. Yuki, I've misjudged you. Do you want to race for Red Bull next
Maybe
year?
he will.
It's not as simple as that. But I think if Yuki continues on this run of form, absolutely. But we know that Yuki does have peaks and troughs. We just need him to sort of level out a bit at the sort of very good and just keep doing that. But no, I don't want to take anything away from him. Great.
I år firar Miele 125 år. Upptäck alla våra jubileumsprodukter och kampanjer på miele.se och hos din Miele-återförsäljare.
Det som orsakar känslighet och ilning i tänderna är ofta kalldryck. Det kan ila i hela käken, hela tänderna.
Go away.
Fine today.
Absolutely, Yuki Tsunoda is shown many times, and I think more and more he is showing consistently in qualifying that he's very good and very quick. It's the races that let him down. I, for one, am going to be absolutely gutted tomorrow if he ends up in his usual 12th and 13th, and you just think, like, how has this happened? And it's really frustrating to watch. And, he's there.
Don't worry, this race will be different. He will get
He's there in the points, and then, suddenly just sort of, like, gets away from him at the end. So he needs to start delivering in the races now. And if he can take these kind of qualifying performances in 8th and start delivering the points, that's when they might take note. But I think the problem for Tsunoda is the fact that, one,
he's a Honda driver and Honda will not be part of Red Bull, so no.
Honda are leaving, and 2, Sergio Perez is doing very, very well at the moment.
Final question, Nate Moss Black 1. Can Red Bull seriously win every race of the season?
No.
I think the question actually is,
Or-
can
They can, but they will not.
Max seriously get pole and win every race of the season? Because that is still on.
He can't win and get pole in every race.
Every race. Look, Max, I know you are an avid P1 listener. I'm sure you're listening right now. Look, just let us have Saturdays. We at least had one day where we could believe. We can't now make that Friday practice days. We can't really seriously get excited over FP2 now, and then we go into quali, and then you get pole, and then you win the race. Surely not. It can't happen.
I think it can.
Okay, good. But everyone should still tune in to the Matt P1 Tommy Twitch channel, where we're doing a watch along from 3:30 in the morning tomorrow. So look forward to our tired faces there. P1 live show tickets are still available, so please, if you want to come and see me and Tommy in a few weeks' time, we'd love to have you there. There's also a competition that we've just put up on Instagram. And Tommy, what are your final thoughts, please?
Yeah, I'm glad
If
the
you can't- if you're not
P1
gonna
live
cough.
show isn't at 6 a.m. My final thoughts are, we make the same joke every time.
Final thoughts. I would say, Yuki Tsunoda will get points. Hopefully, Alex Albon also will get points. And I mean, that would be something. Lewis Hamilton tried desperately get past George Russell and they crash out. So getting points for Yuki Tsunoda and Alex Albon will be secured. Let's see. Landon Norris will start P4, so he could at least try to fight for P3.
Time about,
So-
please watch Formula One, but we will, and there are so many things to look forward to. Turn 1 is normally quite chaotic, and there are so many
Lewis Hamilton and George Russell will have a really bad turn 1.
stories up and down the grid. I genuinely think like people like Daniel Ricciardo is fighting for his career down there. Alex Albon's gonna have a lot of pressure for him to deliver based on how the weekend's gone. It'd be fascinating to see how Hamilton's going to get back through the field.
He will not. Just look at how he did in Saudi Arabia. He did nothing. And maybe in Bahrain also. Men the car is so bad.
Will Kevin Magnussen straight line turn 1 and produce the K-Mag train again?
How will
And
Logan
can-
sit on the pit wall? Will it be like this
That's
way,
wild. How
that
could you
way?
No, leave him alone. The poor man. Wow, we've left it on a Logan slander. That's crazy.
didn't
let's
slander
leave
him.
it. How's he going to sit on the pit wall? How is that not anything but slander? Let's end it on our Alpine going to be washed.
I mean,
Therefore,
how
it wasn't
will
the
he sit?
final piece of slander. That is it. Thank you, everybody.
It'll be
It's
important
early,
to
so
know.
we don't know what we're going to say next. So we'll end it there. See you tomorrow. Lots of love. Bye.
Okay, go away. Oh no. Yes, this was right button. Oh wait. Not go away yet. Let's see. I mean, they had, like always, Scorpion with Hamilton and Mercedes. Man. Oh, I've not heard what is qualifying, after qualifying, what he said, but it will probably be like I always say, as said, no, what do I say? Tell me happy stuff while you're sad, almost. I mean, I just try to sound happy, but he say stuff that sound like he's happy, but no. You clearly hear That's not happiness. That's it's depression. Being part of Mercedes can't be fun. Or I mean, George Russell have at least a fun time, being better than Lewis Hamilton, outscoring him, out qualifying him in an equal machinery like Nico Rosberg once did. A lot of copiing about Carlos Sainz. I mean, is it really that good that you have to act like he is the best driver ever? No. Yeah, it's not so much stuff to actually talk about. So let's go to actually the good stuff. Peter Vindsor, 2024 F1 Australian GP qualifying, but Peter Vindsor. So this will actually be an interesting listening. And maybe more copying about Hamilton.
We go on a lot on this channel about Adrian Newey and about how good he and his team are at Red Bull. And I suppose I'm guilty sometimes of giving too much emphasis to Adrian. And on this occasion, I'd like to say that the RB20 was superb around Melbourne, finally around Albert Park. They got it together really well. After lots of little glitches along the way and trying to get the red soft, super soft Pirellis to work. But then that ultimate last run when Max got under 1:16, did the 15.9, that was pure unadulterated Max Verstappen. And that's what Adrian for sure loves about Max, because he does get that final little
and he will leave to get into a Mercedes car.
piece out of the car.
Hi.
Probably very few drivers now, well, probably the only driver in the world, given his experience with Adrian, can do. And we saw that today under real pressure. The first lap he did in Q3 from Max's point of view was about as good as it could be, but he could never ever relax because Ferrari had been so good. Whenever he had gone quickly at any point of the weekend, Ferrari had gazumped him. So he had to assume that was going to happen again. So we don't often see, I think, Max at absolute limit, and we saw that in the second run of Q3. Really good lap. I mean, disappointingly, I can't imagine.
I know what I can do. Fixing up the stairs so they actually can be walked in.
The TV direction didn't actually show the lap. For sure, you can see it now on the onboard on the Formula One app, which is a great thing. But in terms of the general public being aware of what was going on, it was all around Carlos Sainz. Not a bad pick, actually, as it turned out, because he's on the front row. We'll get onto that in a second. But Max, just brilliant, I thought, around. And I've always said this about Albert Park. It's kind of a difficult circuit to characterize. I mean, what is Albert Park all about? It's just a little bit everywhere. There's nothing that stands out as the key corner or the key element that the car has to have. And Max got the pole because he just did really, really well in every sector, and it all came together as the lap. Whereas everybody else, I think, was thinking about managing the tyres in either Sector 1 and Sector 3 and letting them cool a little bit or not overload them in Sector 2. And that's, I think, ultimately what happened with Charles Leclerc. He just overloaded the tyres. But Max just got it perfectly balanced around all three sectors. But it was hard work. It was hard work. He came out this morning in FP3 on medium tyres to set the car up on mediums. And confusingly, the car was as quick on mediums as it was subsequently on the soft tyre. Ferrari kind of had the same issue as well. And that's all a function of what I was talking about yesterday in the video, about how soft that Pirelli soft is here and how it's very difficult to get it to work over the complete lap, whereas the medium tyre is actually a pretty soft tyre by the standards of other ranges of Pirellis that we've seen over the years in Albert Park, particularly over the last couple of years. And the hard indeed is pretty raceable and soft as well. And the fact that the hard is going to be a great tyre on Sunday was shown by how nobody ran the hard today, because they're all keeping their new sets for the race tomorrow, so we know that's going to be the tyre they're going to love. But the soft tyre was something different, and it was a difficult tyre to get it to last over the complete lap of Albert Park. And that's what Red Bull had to go into, having not done a lot of homework the day before because of the drama with Max's floor. These days with this car, this Adrian Newey car, it took forever to get everything exactly right. And that, of course, I think points also to Adrian's genius under the car and what he's doing there. Everything has to be perfect and everything is very fine details. And that's why they took so long to get that new floor onto Max's car.
For Andy New to make a good car, he needs just 1 year. To Mercedes to succeed to making a car, it takes 3 years.
Yesterday, it just showed how much work and pressure Red Bull are under. We often take it for granted, great team, we say. But they were under a lot of pressure yesterday. And when Max came out in FP3, he's on the medium tire. And then when he put the soft on, he didn't go any quicker, really. I mean, in fact, he went slower because it was very difficult with the 5 or 6 minutes left to actually get the lap perfectly balanced. So that's how Max had to go into qualifying. And right up until Q3, you had this feeling, or I had this feeling, that Ferrari were going to be just as good.
Oh, wait.
And there were moments of other teams getting it right for one lap and then didn't get it right for the next one. Fernando Alonso, a good example. Oscar Piastri, another good example.
Oh,
when it
that
came
could
down to
work.
it in Q3, he went over a curb and I think damaged the car a bit. And that was a shame for him, but, rookie error, you can call it. It's not a rookie, but semi-rookie error. But Charles Leclerc's the big story because you would imagine after what we saw yesterday, and I was eulogizing about him in the video yesterday of how good he would be on light fuel on the soft tire.
And it wasn't.
And what he said on the radio at the end of that lap was, it just went from understeer to oversteer on that last run. What I think happened is that he did a really good Sector 1. He was really quick Sector 1. Sector 2, he kept on it. And he kind of overloaded the tyres. And what happened was that the sidewalls started to go away from the heat build up because they're very soft tyres. And he lost a bit of structure in the tyre. And that's how it felt oversteering. And then it was gone. The lap was gone. Whereas Carlos Sainz, interestingly, got it right in terms of balancing the sectors, being quick where he needed to be, not overusing the tyres. Really, really good session.
Yeah. Maybe a good one good lap for Carlos Sainz, but he will not be that good in the race.
For him, really good weekend for Carlos so far. I hope I did him justice yesterday. I think I did because I said how good he looked in the car and coming back obviously from the appendicitis thing and how focused he is, and he was just superb, absolutely superb, Carlos. And that's why I say, to some extent they were right to follow him for the pole lap, and he got it absolutely spot on. For him to be on the front row and Charles not even to be on the second row says a lot about Carlos Sainz and the way he's driving right now and how he's.
What does that say about Lewis Hamilton?
Improved, and I don't say that condescendingly. He has improved a lot over the last 18 months. Really.
And Lewis Hamilton?
It's such a shame that he's got to be thinking all the time, well, what am I going to do in 2025? And that Ferrari aren't keeping him, really. And a lot of people are saying up and down the pit lane, so, why are they getting Lewis? And this is obviously nothing detrimental about Lewis, but Lewis didn't make it into Q3, George did. And you could say, as I've been saying, well, Lewis isn't going to put it absolutely 100% on the line unless the car feels pretty good now. He's got his Ferrari career ahead of him. He can relax, enjoy, and give it everything he wants to when he feels right. But when he doesn't feel right, it's going to be, oh, well, I didn't make it to Q3. But I'll be at Ferrari next year, and it's going to be really good. But I'm not sure that is a good thing, because if you start to go into that rhythm, it makes it easy.
Wait, but this is the Copium P1 said this will not be a problem.
For Charles Leclerc next year at Ferrari, Lewis needs to be as sharp as he can be if he's going to take it to Charles next year. Maybe he's not thinking of that. Maybe he's just thinking, I'm going to go to Ferrari, spend a year learning about the team, and then after that we'll be going. Maybe he's thinking that way, but it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic works out, because George was the guy that got the lap out of that very difficult Mercedes. I think that's probably the other main story of qualifying, was how wretchedly disappointing Mercedes were, given all the winning they've been doing, the building blocks of success and knowledge and data that they have, the managerial changes they've made, bringing James Allison back in, all that stuff. And
they're still bad.
Couldn't even get Lewis Hamilton into Q3, and George just made it into Q3. And anyway, they got blown away by their customer team, McLaren Mercedes. So a very, very poor performance from Mercedes.
And Aston Martin.
And they will be, you don't need me to say that, they will know that. But, that was the message that came through. Until now, it's always been, well, maybe Mercedes will get it right on a circuit like Albert Park, which is a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Doesn't really penalise you if you're really bad in one area. But it's just sad to see, really. How sad's the wrong word. It was illustrative of where Mercedes are right now, which is in big trouble. They can't beat McLaren in a straight fight. Aston Martin almost there. At one point, Fernando
Is it that
was really quick
nice
qualifying. Then he had a couple of moments. I've said many times, he's not the world's greatest qualifier because you've got to be so precise for the entire lap. And what Fernando's all about, why he's such a good race driver, is he's constantly massaging the car through little minor storms that he puts it into, and he makes it look so easy and so nice to watch that it's a pleasure to watch him. But the reality is there's always going to be the small error with Fernando with that very sudden turn in, and we saw it today when it started to get to the sharp end. And so he was there or thereabouts, again upstaging Mercedes, you could say, and good performance from the team, but probably there's a little bit more pace in that car than we saw. And then Sergio Perez, I think, stepped up pretty well at the end too. I mean, he's never going to do a max lap. That perfect management of the car when the tyres start to go away a little bit and bringing them back again. That's what that pole lap of Max's was all about. That the soft tyre was absolutely on the edge throughout the lap, and it was all about, that was one of the variables that came into play today. We often talk about crosswind or oil or all the other things that come in that Max is so good at working with. This one was all about managing that soft tyre and just making sure he never went too far with it. And I think Charles did go over the edge of the soft tyre, and that may be, I've often been asked in live streams the difference between Max and Charles, and I've said, Charles is a similar sort of driver, but this is where Max's real class showed through today, I thought, was the way he was just able to run on the edge of those soft tyres. Let's just talk a little bit more about the soft tyres, because there's quite a lot of comments about why Pirelli are doing it, what it really means, because I said in the video yesterday, this probably means it's going to open the race up to a two-stop strategy. Of course, I don't imagine that soft tyre is going to be a race tyre. What's happened is that the soft tyre is there, which has enabled Pirelli to run much softer with the medium and the hard than they normally would. So we've got pretty soft, medium and hard. That's the point. And the only way that soft tyre will come into play as a potential race tyre will be if somebody flips a coin, takes a gamble that there will be an early safety car intervention. And that's not a big gamble to take at Albert Park.
Okay,
so
I
often see the safety car
I've
out
done
pretty
it
early at
on
the
the
start of the
loaders.
race, on the first lap. And if you, let's say you started on softs on the basis that there's going to be a safety car on lap one, and you come in, having started on soft, you come in, then you've got the race ahead of you of 2 stints of the hard tyre. You'd be on the edge, but you could do it. And that would be a perfect scenario, probably.
Ricardo will maybe do that.
But of course, it takes the gamble of having to start on the soft tyre and there being no safety car, so that may not happen. Otherwise,
Maybe for Ricardo.
it's going to be medium and then hard, but the medium isn't going to go that far into the race because it's quite a soft tyre.
Maybe a really early safety car that makes starting on soft was the best thing to
Everybody
do.
went to the soft tyre because there is more time to be gained from it, but the medium wasn't a bad option if you wanted to stay out and just get a traffic-free lap. So that's what we'll see tomorrow, and that's all basically because of the extreme they've gone in all 3 compounds, but particularly with this soft red tyre, it's unbelievably soft, and it goes into graining, and then it's a difficult thing to manage, and that's what we're seeing on the laps as well. Other performances, Yuki Tsunoda, really good job, I thought. Again, we seem to have been saying that a lot recently. He was quicker than Daniel Ricciardo even before Daniel lost his lap for going over track limits. Shame for him in front of his home crowd because it wasn't a bad lap. It looked as if he was going to get into Q3 and it was taken away just as everybody was starting to cheer, and he was back at the bottom, didn't get through into Q3. But Yuki Tsunoda starting to really deliver and be really consistent in that car. The team looking pretty good too, I think, with a lot of new personnel. Team looks very good. But for me, one of the biggest disappointments of the day was Williams with Alex Albon, who was now in Logan Sargent's car. And to my astonishment, Logan was at the track hanging out as a sort of a reserve driver. I would have thought he would have been on the first plane back to home to put a stop on the next payment that they're making to Williams. But maybe it's a pretty lax contract from their perspective, and there's not much they could do about it. I hope that isn't the case, because he is paying for that drive, and if he's not racing, obviously there should be some sort of refund. I'm not getting involved because I don't know about the contract, but that's what you would imagine. But even putting that to one side, Logan Sargent hasn't been he hasn't been Nicholas Latifi, has he? And he's doing pretty well. And had they given the responsibility of Logan to Logan, because don't forget, he had a big moment yesterday, and he's the guy that didn't hit the wall, whereas Alex Albon did. That should have been the reward, that he gets to race. And had they given that responsibility to Logan, I think it would have been really good for him, because he would have.
Fine.
I'm carrying the Williams name on my shoulders.
Oh man, come on! Do you believe so much about Logan Sargent?
And I'm going to get on with it. I don't imagine he would have done a lot worse than Alex Albon. I think he would have got into Q2, and Alex didn't get into Q3.
Okay, and then who will get the points?
Of course, Alex is a faster driver. Of course, he's a more polished driver. Of course, he's more likely to score points.
Yeah.
But at the end
of
the day, he's the guy that crashed in F.
And he will give them a lot of money if they finish high up, right?
P1, if you please. And Logan Sargent is the guy that spun and didn't crash, and has been doing a pretty good job.
No, but he would maybe do that in the race.
And he's bringing a lot of money to the team, so I'm still confused about that. I'm also confused by why they didn't have a spare chassis. I can understand why Alpine don't have a spare chassis.
You've been in Formula 1 a lot, and you think that's weird. I mean, weird nowadays or weird 50 years ago.
Track and a couple of other teams, because they had dramas with crash testing. But I don't think Williams had a crash testing drama, and so they haven't had that sort of race against time to get chassis.
They've changed everything. They want to change everything to be better.
He's built in time for the start of the year. So I waited outside, never found anyone to talk to there. So that was that. And I can only assume that it is a question of spares and getting enough parts made, because I can't imagine it's budget. And I don't think it's, as I say, I don't think it's a crash test thing either. So the whole thing is very odd, bearing in mind that most of the teams out there, not all, most of the teams do have spare chassis with them, and they're on the road at these flyaways. I think Alpine are getting one flown out for China or Japan maybe. But you need those, do you not? And carrying on from the brake discussion yesterday, quite a lot of talk about brakes on the radio too. Sergio Perez, I think it was Fernando Alonso, also had a problem getting the brakes to retard to the right feel, and Max too, to the right pressure. And this goes back to what I was talking about yesterday, of batches of the discs being made seemingly in the same process, but a different batch, different performance. And we're seeing that more and more now. Why we're seeing it more, maybe because there are more differences, or maybe it's because of the standard disc and the non-standard calipers that they run. They're starting to go out into extremes of performance, and we're seeing these very small differences actually starting to add up to mean something more than that, if that makes sense. And Charles was the first guy to have that. But it was interesting, I was talking to the Carlos Sainz guys today, I won't say who, and I was saying, it was really weird what happened with Charles in Bahrain, just fishing to see if I'd get any response. And they said, oh, well, Carlos has had that problem a lot, and it's not the first time we've had it at Ferrari. And yeah, a big thing was made about it because it was, because it was Charles, but he was really quick at the end of the race anyway, which was the other side of the garage saying, so what was that all about? Carlos blew him away. That's kind of what they said. So that's why I'm intrigued by all this, because it's this whole brake thing that he had in Bahrain is much more than just a brake thing in Bahrain. It's a whole political thing, and it's also endemic of something going on, certainly with the Brembo runners, maybe the others as well, in the pit lane. And they're all so secretive about what calipers they run and all the rest of it. I don't know why they are. You'd imagine that they would want to give publicity to their supplier. That's what that used to be the case, but obviously they're very secretive about all that stuff now. But it's quite fun trying to get to the bottom of what it's all about, assuming the teams themselves know what it's all about, of course, which isn't necessarily a guarantee. Anyway, it was a very, very good qualifying session. Really enjoyed it. It was always in doubt right to the end. And when somebody goes out and there's a barrier and it's a 1:16 barrier and he does a 15.9, then you know it's a great lap. 15.8 wouldn't have been quite as dramatic in a way because, the 15.8 was
Why
always there.
is it
But a
so?
15.9 means
The
you
stairs must be
just had
so
to get it perfect.
wrong
Well,
for
it was
some
perfect
reason.
No, it wasn't perfect. A perfect lap has never been driven, has it? But Max was somewhere near it today, I would have thought. So that was that. We'll see what happens in the race tomorrow. It's going to be weird seeing Carlos on the front row and Sharp.
Wait, he's so good, but still it's weird to see him up there. What do you mean?
Down on the third row.
What's weird with that?
What a thing
Is
for
it
Carlos
that
Sainz
good?
that is around Albert Park. As I say, it's a
God damn
weird
it.
circuit because
This
there
fuck
are,
is there.
as I said before, there are no sort of distinctive things that stand out. If you've got great top speed, you're going to be good. If you've got great traction, you're going to be. It's just a little bit of everything, and I think that's
God
why
damn it.
Ferrari are good here. Because as I said yesterday, that's what they've been working on over the winter. And they've been working on getting a bigger.
Mercedes have also been working for 3 years, and seems like that will never go anywhere.
spot so the car's a bit more drivable. Didn't work for Charles Leclerc today, but it certainly worked for Carlos Sainz, and then good luck to them. That that was a very, very well-owned front row with the developments they've put into the car and the way they've done that. That was really good. Yeah, for Charles, he'll be really disappointed, really confused, because in his mind he's always going to be able to beat Carlos Sainz in a
It
straight
should
fight.
be on
Didn't
the.
happen today, and that was because of that weird Pirelli soft tire. And he did a lot of running on it yesterday, and he should have got on top of that element of how you can overuse
Oh,
the tires. Assuming it
that's-
was that, of course, it
no,
may have been
they changed
something else.
everything.
I doubt it. I think it would have been that, because a lot of drivers were complaining about that exact issue of the tire apparently just going
Yeah,
from
Charles Leclerc maybe did a bad qualifying, but he will do a great race.
understeer to oversteer. I say the tire causing that in FP3 as well, and it wasn't the only team, but Sainz got it right. Leclerc didn't. That was the.
Yeah, in the qualifying, but he will not do in the race.
So 2 Red Bulls, 2 Ferraris up there.
Where is the Mercedes? Nowhere, because McLaren is there.
And McLaren, Lando Norris, good job. I haven't mentioned Lando, but very good job. I mean, he'll be relieved to have out-qualified Oscar, because right up until Q3,
Oh wait,
Lando
did I
was
fail?
struggling to be within a tenth or two of Oscar, and Oscar looked very good in the car again. But then in Q3, can we say under pressure? Probably it wasn't a pressure thing. Well, it probably was a pressure thing. Just went over a curb, bumped the car. That's actually what Alex Albon did in Q1 as well with the Williams, because it was always going to be a thing with Alex of, I can't hit anything, but I got to be quick, and as a result, I'll leave a bit of margin. He didn't hit anything, but he did go over a curb and damage the bottom of the car. Well, certainly would have given it a thump, and that may not have been a great thing for him in terms of what happened in the lap afterwards. So that was another mistake. Really shouldn't have happened. And the same thing happened with Oscar Piastri. So he'll be really disappointed with that. He'll get a big build up
Damn it.
here in Australia, nonetheless. But he's such a racer, and he's very self-critical. He won't be impressed with himself at all with what happened. And that's a good thing, of course. Ultimately it will be a learning curve. So there we are. That is qualifying. Trying different spec in the room, because looking at the video, I was never happy with the video last night. And for those who are wondering why I had it so dark, it's because if I have any of the artificial lighting on in the room, apart from the odd light that I brought with me out from
Oh, that's why.
Spain,
So I can
I get that strobing effect, and I don't have the time or the inclination really to start messing around with speeds and shutters and all that to get rid of the strobing. I just have to say, right, I ain't going to have that strobing because it's going to be horrendous. And I've got back
damn
a
it.
little bit
It
sooner
should be
today,
2.
thanks to Sir Jackie, who gave me a lift back. And we've got a bit of natural light. I've got one artificial light down there, and it's a little bit better, I think. The room is a bit messy, probably. I don't know how much you can see in that, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Main thing is to get the video out. And so big thanks for watching. Thanks to Jetcraft. Good to see Mick and Jack doing out on track today. Mick doing wheelies, and Jack was in the Benetton, which didn't go very far, and the second run they did, he was in, looked to be something like an ex-Spencer Martin Scuderia Veloce Brabham Climax 4 2.5 litre Tasman car, but he was sitting, as they do these days, they're kind of sitting on it rather than in it, and the big helmet, it didn't really look right, but lovely to see that car. There was some incredible classic cars on track today. Formula 5000 McLaren M10Bs, a few Can-Am McLarens, Porsche 904, Ferrari
glass.
Dino, 66 Dino, and some Elfins, Formula Junior Elfins, one of my favourite race cars that I grew up with here in Australia. And a really good atmosphere here in Melbourne. Formula One is huge here in Australia. They love it. Well, they love their supercars, but they also love Formula One. Anyway, there we are. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to Jack Craft. Thanks to Pitbox. Thanks to you. See you tomorrow.
Let's see. Oh. Wait, 40 seconds. Why do you have it so long? Now it's black screen. I mean, Peter, you need to fix this. It's so weird. This, the clip should end when this subscribe stuff ends, and not have this this black screen with the party music. What the fuck? Oh, this is so weird. Okay, go away, ad. We don't need to watch that. Man. Man. But he will talk more about... Oh, wait, he did. He talked a lot of Lewis Hamilton. How bad Mercedes is. Oh my god. Let's see. Oh. Kym Illman. Williams F1 drama in Australian GP. Let's see what he thinks about it.
G'day from the Albert Park
G'day,
Circuit
mate.
paddock on a very sad day for Logan Sargent. After yesterday's drama with Alex Albon's crash, he's going to sit out FP3, quali and the race. Now let me quickly recap what happened yesterday afternoon. I was out at turn 7 and 8, and that's where the accident happened. 2 minutes before the accident happened, I decided to scoot. Of course, Alex has that incident, wrecks his car completely, damages the gearbox, the chassis and the engine. All of that had to be replaced. I was very lucky to actually realise that he'd crashed. Only some people in the crowd drew it to my attention. So I sprinted back, and you may have seen some television footage, which I didn't realise was on, of me running back. These pictures were taken. Alex gets into the medical car and heads back to the paddock. They do a whole lot of work on that car in the afternoon, and they realise that they cannot fix it. They just don't have a spare chassis. Now, that's not normal, and certainly James Vowles in his press conference just over here this morning mentioned that that's not what he wanted, but he was faced with the option of wanting speed or having a spare chassis. They chose to put their energies into the speed, and certainly the speed of the car in the first two races was encouraging. James did say this morning that yes, they rolled the dice, and unfortunately in this instance it has come up a very sad result for Logan Sargent. He was in late today. Now, some people I spoke to thought he might not even show up and just head straight back home, but no, he is here. He is a team player. James did say that he has an incredible work ethic and he is there to support the team, and he also went on to say that this is a bizarre sport in so much as you have two players, Alex and Logan, who are playing in a team, but they're playing against each other. And while Logan wasn't happy about it, it sounds like he was prepared to do it for the team. So I think that will cut him some slack later in the year and perhaps even allow him a bad performance or two and it not go against his name. I do like listening to James Vowles speak. He tells it as it is, and he was very honest about that decision backfiring on them. I mentioned earlier that Logan was in a lot later than he would normally come in, and I thought he may have come from this entrance down here. But he didn't. He came from the main entrance, which is back this way. He didn't look distressed in any way. I think he's probably had enough time to digest that bad news. And he will be here for...
What do you mean? It's super good news. The one that can score points, get the car.
For the team over the next 2 days to do whatever he can to help Alex get
he
the points.
Also surely wants team score points, so it could be good news for him also.
But the one comment that stood out for me from James this morning was that we shouldn't be asking professional athletes to have to do this. Unfortunately, that's what it's come to, and now there is huge pressure on Alex.
I mean, it's Logan Sargent, so I wouldn't say that's so big a scratch to maybe
to perform, because if he crashes out,
make him give up the car.
Or doesn't do well, they've sacrificed a lot with leaving Logan out of the car for nothing. Now, other things I can tell you about here in this paddock, and it is one of the most beautiful paddocks that we encounter. I caught up with Oscar Piastri's mum the other day, and his
Man, someone is talking to
parents. Interestingly, Nan had actually baked these beautiful lamingtons and provided a whole host of rumballs for the team to enjoy.
So did Oscar get any? Or was it just people close to him?
Lamingtons, and provided a whole host of rumballs for the team to enjoy over the race weekend.
I bet Oscar didn't get to eat any. They will maybe ruin his race.
And still on the subject of Oscar, his image is everywhere around both the track and outside the track. This particular signage across Queen's Way is bold for his sponsor, Quadlock. He and Daniel were paired up in the press conference on Thursday, and I liked that pairing. It was good fun. They were enjoying themselves. And I think probably Daniel won't mind the fact that Oscar is getting plenty of publicity, because in the past, being for most of those years the only Australian on the grid, he was under enormous pressure. A lot of that pressure has been lifted this
And then the qualifying happened.
weekend, giving him a chance to just focus on the racing. Gunter Steiner, yes, he's back. He's working for Channel 10 in a commentary hosting position. And I caught him having lunch with Carlos Sainz Sr. Who else have I seen in here? Oh, Lance Stroll's sister, Chloe Stroll, was with her husband, Scotty James. Popular post on Instagram, a lot more popular than I thought. And she's a delight to talk to. She is actually a singer, although I've never heard any of her music. Daniel's also had some promotional duties to do here. Here he is in a Red Bull race suit, doing some Ford promo work outside of the paddock, something that Liam Lawson also had a crack at as well. Actually, I did mention to Liam on Thursday when he came in, welcome to your home Grand Prix. Hey, I'm a New Zealander. I said, I know that, but this has got to be your closest race, even though he's not racing. It was good to see two Doohans on track today, with Mick riding a motorcycle and his son Jack in an F1 car. That was a demo lap, and I believe they're doing another one on Sunday. Let's talk quickly about the Melbourne Walk. There's nothing like it anywhere in the F1 world. Hundreds, maybe even thousands of people out there waiting to see their favourite drivers. It's a media scrum.
I mean, I think they could do this in Japan, probably really easily.
It's a whole lot of excited people. Lewis Hamilton did the walk both on Thursday and Friday. Now, typically...
Did he do that after qualifying also?
He'll do one, but to do two is, from my memory, rather unusual. He seemed to enjoy it as well, although his security was...
Until after the qualifying, then he... Remember, he's still in a Mercedes. Can't be fun.
Right on top of things, making sure that he wasn't trapped in a huddle for too long anyway. Also out there on the walk was Charles Leclerc on Thursday, kicking a football about. Why is that? Well, their social media content guy, Josh Cruz, is a Melbourneian, an Aussie who's working for the Italian team, and he took a Sharon footy out there for the Monegasque driver to have a kick about. And how was he? Nah, hopeless. Anyone who has never played Aussie rules football is not going to have any idea of how to kick an Australian rules football. Well, I'll come down to do a meet and greet with all these people on both sides. They're quite enthusiastic. And part of the deal is I'm taking photos of them with this little camera, and they get the picture. There you go. I'll come back and sign it if you want, but it's just great to see all these people down here, and they're all mad F1 fans, and they follow me on Insta or YouTube or TikTok or Facebook or X. Now, I mentioned Oscar Piastri's mum. Other parents here, Lando Norris's dad, caught them walking in together, Lando with a scooter, and this looked to me like a branded deal with Pure Scooters and McLaren. Something I've not seen before. And on something totally unrelated, if you are German, you might have seen me pop up on Sky Sports Germany. I was asked to do a little interview with Peter Hardenacker here, who's one of the journos, and it was a nice treat because I got to speak a little bit of German, and my German is sehr einfach, but which means very simple in German. But still, it's nice to get my message across to a new audience. That is the Alpine Hospitality Suite just behind me.
I think a lot of people go there for depression.
And it didn't look like that yesterday morning. It looked like this. Why?
No, even more depression. Oh my god. The hospital for them is also bad.
Well, they had a burst water main. It did require a couple of hours of work, but today, as you can see, she's back to normal. Now, I'm trying to think if there are any other circuits where the drivers use the same toilets as the people in the paddock club, but certainly that's the case here, because that toilet behind me there is accessed by the drivers by going through that gate. So if you've come down from your function upstairs, could be you're standing next to Carlos Sainz or Lewis Hamilton in the men's toilet. Would you strike up a conversation in that instance? Your comments below would be interesting. Did you know that there's a curfew involved in Formula One? What happens is the cars are locked down overnight, and at a certain point the teams are allowed to go and work on those cars, but until that time all the mechanics and the crew have to stay outside the paddock. So now the gates have just been opened, so you're seeing crew member after crew member flood into this very beautiful Albert Park paddock. You may have seen plenty of photos with these big heads which are handed out by
I've seen some. I wouldn't say it's
the Australian Grand Prix Corporation. Well, I tell you, they are absolute.
The fuck did they? I was some when they. Oh, so disgusting. Such a creepy sound. And the rubbers don't do any sound. That's weird. Oh, wrong way. Man, they're hopping so much that you feel like you should make any sound, but
absolutely revered. People clamber for them, scream, go crazy. Look at this young lady here. She was certainly one of the most animated I saw out there on the Melbourne Walk. And of course, if you can get one signed by a driver, it makes them even more valuable. And just finally, in a recent video I did, you might have seen a young girl trying to get my attention while I was recording something.
Oh my god, that was so mean of you. You ignored her like she wasn't there.
On camera. Now I've got to tell you, I can barely do one thing at once, let alone two. So I apologise to that young lady, and if she'd like to contact me, I'll gladly send her a signed Nico Hulkenberg print.
Man, so mean it was. Just stood there and she tried so desperately just telling that she was so big fan, but
I think we're in for an interesting race tomorrow, and hopefully not
else.
one just dominated by Max Verstappen. And if you haven't yet subscribed, here's your chance to do it. Thanks for watching, and stay passionate.
oh well not.
Just before you go, can you please hit the like button? And for those of you who have not subscribed, hey, who's that?
No! Someone more from Red Bulls that will maybe get Christian Hornet. I mean, more. What do you say? Making Christian Hornet look bad. I mean, look, he have done apparently something, and now you see people from his team that do some weird stuff. Man, Red Bull is so done. For some reason. I mean, they have a good car, they're a good driver, and because of that, Max Verstappen want to leave that. John Mercedes, yeah, sure.
Morning.
Oh.
He's laughing now, but in 1 year, he will be crying, and then try to get him fired. Oh, that's something I will not watch, and hopefully I will not get any bad from Formula 1. Oh, I want to see Lewis Hamilton's post-qualifying reaction. Man, so many ads. Oh, this will be so funny. The depressing talk from Lewis Hamilton, trying to tell how good everything is, while sounding like he's really depressing, and who knows, maybe on something watch. And let's see, do Max Verstappen have any problems with his car? Oh shit, I need sound.
I mean, like you said, it was quite tricky to find the right balance throughout the week.
Always so tricky. No, the face. What happened? Oh, let's see. I have. Look how happy he is. What did Norris say? Who knows? Something really bad must have happened. I mean, from being this happy to this. Oh my god. Okay, go away, Max. We need to go back to your face.
So far, and even in qualifying, I didn't.
Oh yeah. His car is always so tricky in the weekend or in the practice, and then in qualifying, oh, it's good now. Hype.
Expect to fight for pole in Q2 even. Yeah, very happy with the laps that we did in Q3, and yeah, I surprised myself probably a little bit as well.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you always surprise yourself. Yeah, Carlos Sainz also with the face. And I wouldn't say I will believe Carlos Sainz keeping the P2, or I feel like Perez will probably get past him, and then Leclerc sometime will also get past him. He will maybe defend against McLaren.
Very happy. The more I see it, more with perspective, the happier I am, you know, because it's been a very tough couple of weeks, a lot of days in bed, and with a lot of unknowns, you know. If you tell me even 6 days ago, I was still in bed and thinking, not gonna make.
I mean, yeah, so unlucky getting that, but someone got really lucky because they got to prove how good they are in the car. And almost getting more points than Lewis Hamilton and out-qualifying Lewis Hamilton. Man, what a great day.
Make it, and then suddenly I started to progress a lot and flew to Australia, started to improve a lot in the second week, and it allowed me to jump in the car on Friday. And even if I'm not 100%, and obviously everything feels a bit weird, but I managed to get it done, do some really strong laps today, and put it on the front row.
Yeah, we were chasing it through.
Yeah. Let's see. Could Perez have done it better? I mean, probably not better than Max Verstappen, but he could maybe been closer. But it will probably be an easy 1-2 for Perez.
Through it all, I think overall it's yeah, I'll say it's a good starting point. I think tomorrow it's a much bigger picture because the gradation is going to be extremely high. I think the starting position, I'm happy to be in the clean side, and I think I can fly from there.
Yeah, happy with today, honestly. I've not.
And you surely will. Hopefully you will not crash out with Carlos Sainz in the first turn. Oh my god, that was so depressing to watch Formula 2. See, just Bortoleto getting crashed out before the first corner even. I'm not getting crashed out. Just outside the pit stop. So hopefully nothing that happened. Hopefully maybe Lewis Hamilton will have that fun.
I don't feel like I've done that well this weekend. I struggled to put things together and just
Yeah, but you're better than Mercedes. That's something fun to do.
get comfortable with the car, knowing how to push on it. Normally when I feel like I push, it goes the opposite way of what I want. So yeah, it's something I'm still struggling with, I would say, and I've struggled with a bit this season. And as soon as I got a little bit more comfortable, like now in through qualifying especially, I felt like I could just unlock more from what I wanted, and I could kind of control the car better. And as soon as I do that, I feel like I can get a lot more lap time out of it, you know. But it's
fucking scare me with your page switching.
Just very difficult to do that.
I think the issue started, unfortunately, quite a bit earlier. Already in FP3.
Yeah, Leclerc didn't have a fun qualifying. But he will have a good race.
I started losing the feeling, but I was quite confident I will find it back in qualifying, and I did not. The front, I struggled to rotate the car in the first two sectors, and then in the last run I decided to go very aggressive with the front wing, and then I lost the rear massively. So yeah, all in all, not a clean quali. I wasn't really happy with the feeling of the car, but
no,
tomorrow.
Don't say I'm. When did I start playing here? 2019. Could this be 5-year-old? What would you say? 5-year-old miss? God damn it. Okay.
Oh, it's a long race. There are 4 DRS zones, and from now on I'll focus on that to try and maximize the result from where we start.
Q1 and Q2 looked really strong, and then in Q3 I just didn't make it happen. So a couple of messy laps, which is a bit frustrating, but
yeah, but you're still better than Mercedes. Be happy with that, and I'll score down.
Yeah, I don't think we're massively out of position. So.
True.
Yeah, a bit frustrating with my own performance, but we'll see what we can do tomorrow. Our race pace looked pretty strong yesterday, so hopefully we can try and use that.
I think it's always difficult to judge in practice how the performance truly is. It's so tight out there.
Oh my god. What did you say? George Russell is your Mercedes of the 3 years good?
I think it's always difficult to judge in practice how the
Yeah, if you're a Mercedes fan, you never know how bad the car actually is, because you do your coping rounds in the. This can't be. Doesn't look new. Oh, this one. Oh, new. Man, I hate when they make a common fish spawn alone. It look like they are new. We keep that one. Yellow tail parrotfish. Oh wait. Fucking I'm a retarded. Yes, I am. And to make sure he will not stay in the area. Soon we will get a fish from the gods. There we have it. Okay, back to George Russell and his opinion about Mercedes.
The performance truly is. It's so tight out there between the top 5
Oh, I
teams.
hate this talking part. It's so tight. I mean, and I mean, okay, it's tight. Does that mean Haas can win the race now? No, okay. So it's not tight. And also, it's just tight in qualifying. But if you 0.1 second slow after 50 lap, you're let's see, what will it be? This is 5 seconds slow down. It should be. Oh wait, no. Who cares? But you will never catch up if you're that slow. You can maybe be lucky with a safety car or anything, but because you're close in qualifying doesn't mean it will ever be a close race. It will just be a easy Max Verstappen win.
Spa Red Bull, there's always quite a fight on our hands. I definitely think we're gonna have a faster race car than we had.
Like Lewis Hamilton had in Saudi Arabia. He skipped the qualifying to have a good race car, and then he didn't have a good race car. Nice. Mercedes can. They know the stuff.
Ultimately, we know where we need to improve, and that's the high-speed corners. This circuit, there's quite a few of those around here. But all to play for tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely happy. Did you expect to be?
Yeah, you could know that. Out qualifying Lewis Hamilton.
To be in the P8.
And I'm hoping this will lead to the first points. Visa, Cash App, RB Formula 1 team. First points. That would be amazing. And I mean, I was hoping that Ricciardo would also have a good race, but it doesn't look like it will be that easy.
Even Q3 as well after Q1 that when I saw Williams and a couple of teams also picked up quite a lot of paces. So, but also at the same time able to gain a lot of lap time in a couple of places, each corners, and they're able to put me into Q3. So that was really happy, and also definitely big credit to the teams that able to get me a very consistent car throughout the week. I think from AP1 I feel quite comfortable.
Yeah, it became tricky in Q3 with the wind increasing. And
Lance Stroll have a tricky qualifying. I never heard that before. Almost like every qualifying is tricky for him.
all that, but yeah.
But something we can say, he out qualifying Lewis Hamilton. Maybe Lance Stroll should go to Mercedes.
I'm not sure we were that fast. I think we were a little bit less competitive this weekend compared to the previous two. I remember in Jeddah being P1 in FP2, P2 in FP3, and we were not in that pace here in Australia.
But you can be better than Mercedes or Lewis Hamilton. It would be, I mean, the good memories from 2007. You can maybe be better than him.
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit more tricky weekend to find the balance of the car, the trust in the car. And yeah, in Q3 I made a mistake in turn 6, so that first attempt was gone. And on the second new set of tires, I didn't have the confidence and the trust anymore to really push. So yeah, a little bit of a shame. I'm sorry for that, and hopefully tomorrow I can recover.
I mean, I don't know if I'm dealing with.
Tell me that you're sad without telling me that you are sad. Let's hear it out, Lewis Hamilton. Tell you how fun it is driving Mercedes.
With that, great. I mean, less consistent than George. George is doing a better job with our cars. Three qualifyings in a row that he's out qualified me, and he's happily. No, he's just seemed to get on.
No, Lewis, don't be so. Oh my god. Don't tell it how it is that he is actually happy. I told you to tell me that you're sad without just telling me that you're sad. Telling someone is happy, that's make it so much easier to see where you come from.
Done a lot better than I do. So yeah.
It's so depressing.
Just trying to.
I mean, Jerry, we've seen a lot of boxers in this ring. It's not just pretty, it's absolutely beautiful. And everybody knows it because this is a fighter at the top of his game.
Trying to keep my head above water and just continue to realize that, there's much, it could be way worse.
Hey.
Yeah, you could have one more year in Mercedes, but you will have some years in Ferrari. So much more fun.
Hey Alex, how much kind of did you feel going into the car today after getting the opportunity? Did you feel a lot of pressure? And you pleased with the efforts? Because considering such little running, P12 isn't bad, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not bad. Yeah, I did feel pressure. If I'm totally honest, I think it's a different position. I've crashed before myself in my own car, and that's kind of just rebuilding confidence going into a Saturday. But this time it was a little bit like, with everything going on, you've got almost a little bit of a responsibility to do a good job. So the result today I'm happy with. I feel like P12 is good for us. I think it's where we hope to be. Yuki seems to be putting in some very strong performances every time. But yeah, given the circumstances, and it hasn't been easy for the team, not least to Logan, of course. We don't want to really go racing like this, and to try and get a result for him and for the team. Yeah, that's the goal tomorrow.
Bit better today. I mean, yeah.
Oh my god, man, I don't know why, but in practice 3, he had a better time and had the number position 17, but for some reason they put him last. So that's mean. Bottas trying to do a good laps and then he still get placed last, like in all the races.
It's still not the position we want to be, but it's way better than the last 2 events. So now we've made it to Q2 for the first time of the year actually, and yeah, I think tomorrow we can fight with all the cars around us. So it's positive to feel some gains.
Yeah, there was some good laps in qualifying, and I think that's just about where we were with the car.
Yeah, I feel like Kevin Magnussen can't do some more cheating to make Hulkenberg get in points when Hulkenberg is behind him. So let's see how we will get points for us.
So we can in qualifying at least. So P14, I mean, still within reach of the top 10, and I think
that's Skopje.
Try and have a clean race tomorrow. Hopefully the tire degradation will be on our side.
Obviously, I'm not going to say it feels like a win because it's a P15, but it's good improvement. That's.
Oh my god, that's improvement. I mean, sure, but really, do you really start copying that 15 is so? I mean, it somewhat is, but man, that's a low bar. Should you maybe celebrate it as a win also? Because it's 15.
We've been going through things, such in a good way. Recently, it's still not enough. We're still not happy with where we are, but it's not for lack of trying. As we could see, I've pushed the limits, clipped the wall in that Q1 run 1 lap, and yeah, kept pushing after that. To try and bring the car into Q2.
Yeah, that he did. He ruined his tire.
And then we've done that, so pretty pleased with how we've maximized the package, I think. But yes, we are aware that we still need to find some performance to go through a more performance and to go through Q3.
The lap was looking promising up until turn 9. Or actually from exit of turn 7, somehow the wind changed and I lost a bunch of lap time on that straight going down to turn 9, just from a different wind direction. But then also, I don't know, I lost the front tire for the rest of the lap, and yeah, didn't manage to improve enough.
The laps were pretty strong, and then until the last lap where just couldn't downshift into turn 1 and turn 6 were the issues on the downshifts, and
yeah, so Kevin Magnussen didn't. No, Kevin Magnussen, Hulkenberg did Yeah, they didn't improve. Could maybe have done something. And then we have... Oh, done.
Fortunately, that was the lap that mattered. So yeah, quite frustrating because I think we had the potential to go both through Q2, and yeah, we'll have to do better next time.
I wouldn't even say it sunk in when it happened. Like Pierre.
I wonder if Alpine will never get good this season. I mean, I'm hoping they will be at least after the summer be somewhat good. But man, how can they make so bad car? And then, man, this was somewhat not fun to see. Ricardo could have got into Q2, but then he... Oh no. It's the floor. God damn it. Let's see, can this look good? I mean, it looks something. Wait, and then... Oh shit. That one I wanted to remove. But yeah,
told me and
Ricardo to talk.
I kind of knew what it meant, but I don't know. Even now, I don't think it's fully sunk in because, yeah, the lap, I knew turn 4 I was fighting it, and I knew I watched a little bit wider, obviously, so I was, but it happens, and then you think about the next corner, so it's I nearly forgot about it.
Yeah, oh, I heard this. He felt he was over the line, then he forgot he was over the line, and then he learned when it was too late.
Until he brought it up, but the lap honestly felt like I gave it all it had.
I ride the curb and then suddenly pieces was flying off on the front wing. Yeah, but before then I was like more than half times up and would be the same lap time as Valtteri, so it's very frustrating.
I have an idea. When we have this over the whole floor. Minecraft music.
Rating. Obviously, see myself having no front wing for the last sector, but actually the lap wasn't any mistake. But yeah, seems to like that curb is very demanding at the moment.
Yeah, that was all. Man, will the whole season will be just Lewis Hamilton not having fun with his car? Oh my god, I must see that again.
Cars, three qualifyings in a row that he's out-qualified me, and he's happily... No, he's just...
He's happily. He's so happy.
He's out-qualified me, and he's happily... No, he's just seemed to get on a lot better than I did.
Yeah. And I feel like Ferrari will not give you so much more fun, maybe. Okay, so that was the last thing to be that I wanted to watch. Let's see. No, stop with that. I want to make sure everything's good. And then we go. There's nothing more to. No. Okay. Okay, this is a clear thing I need to fix. So this will maybe happen after F1 have the race. Let's see. First we just put away some stuff. So, I'm gonna feel somewhat done. The planning of what I will do with this abandoned mine stuff. Do I want to keep it or should I remove it? I mean, it's somewhat cool to have it left around, but it takes too much space, at least in see if we can get it. I mean, this plate. It's in the walkway. And then what do we have here? No, more abandoned mines. Then I think it should be man, I can't get it to get the fun. God damn it. We need to walk past it to get to it. Oh shit. Yeah, just yeah, what's that now called? No, it's not. Or is it? No, there it's shouldn't. Okay, but it's a late problem, and also this is also a problem. Should I keep this or should I remove this? Should I remove some old start history? Or should it just be clean? Oh wait. If I'm doing like this over there, then I will 100% remove it to get. Oh, so if you remember, it gets removed. Or maybe not. Well, that's also a future problem. For now, I will see where could I. Oh, that I need to do first. Then we need to. Oh yeah, take photos of this also. Well, photo screenshot. Nice. It looks so nice when you see through both the glass walls. Let's see. Formula 2 eller Formula 3 will happen. That will soon happen, right? Formula 3. Yes, in 25 minutes Formula 3 will happen. Holy shit. Oh, and beginners will start P3. And hopefully he will not have one more bad race where he will not score any points. And that's so depressing. And hopefully Bortoletti will have also a fun race. Formula 2. Then Hager will start P1. So you could have a fun race. And yeah, probably Max Verstappen win in Formula 1. Perez most likely P2, but I hope for Leclerc P2. And that would be fun to see Lando Norris P3 or Oscar Piastri. But will that happen? I don't know. And hopefully Yuki Tsunoda will get the first points for Visa Cash App RB Formula 1 team. And Alex Albon will get his first points for Williams. What do we more hope? Bad race for Lewis Hamilton. Maybe reasons why could be the first corner with George Russell, or maybe Lance Stroll, who knows? And let's see if Ricciardo can show that he actually can drive the car. But until then, I will say